After Raptors forward Jontay Porter left 2 NBA games early, it was found that he had prop bets for both games. As a result, the NBA launched an investigation. Take a look.
Brian, you along with David Purdom and Woj are the ones who reported this story. What is the latest on this?
Yeah, so first off, there isn't any certainty that Jontay Porter actually made a wager himself. What there is a lot of circumstantial evidence and suspicious activity, primarily because, as you can imagine, as a player who's on a two-way contract, while there are betting options offered on players like Jontay in games, it's very unusual to see much volume. And what raised the casino's alarms here and eventually was passed on to the NBA and led the NBA to launch an investigation was on the same night that Jontay Porter had a very increased amount of betting on his prop bets, way higher than you would have for any normal game. Twice in the last 2 months, the same nights those happened, he exited the games with previously not on the injury report illnesses and injuries. Before both games, he was not on the injury report at all, and then he only made it, in one game a little over 3 minutes and in one game a little over 2 minutes. And so that is just extremely suspicious enough to the point where he has been taken and put on leave away from the team, and the NBA is investigating. I don't think we know anything more than that right now. There's certainly a lot to talk to team personnel about and for the casinos to do their research on. This, in a way, this was the casino's integrity operations that caught this, that flagged this and led to this. And I think that's also a key factor.
No, the casino, they build money with losers' money, not winners' money. It ain't no integrity because had he had lost, the casino would have never reached out to the NBA. They would have never said a word. It was the fact that he was in their pockets that made them reach out and says, oh, what's going on here? Somebody's betting 85 all this money on a two-way player? Hell, I didn't even know you can bet on a two-way player. And it does look suspicious. All of a sudden, this heavy flow comes in on a guy that's on a two-way contract and on the under, and then all of a sudden he exits the game with a non-previously disclosed injury. And it happens again, I guess, a month or 6 weeks later, Wendy. And so, yes, that piqued the curiosity of the casino because they say, hey, the one thing we know, Legs, I don't know how much you guys gamble, but if you go to a casino and they suspect you of counting cards, they get you up out of there. They ain't in the business of losing money, and they definitely not going to lose the money through shady practices. So that's what this was about, Wendy, because had he lost that, casino would have never said a word. They never call it integrity when they winning your money. It's only when you start to hit their pockets that all of a sudden it comes into question. But it seems awfully suspicious to me also.
Yeah, this can't be coincidental. And look, if you really think about it, what's the best way you can guarantee a prop bet winner? It's to do exactly what he did, which is you've got these numbers out there, and the numbers are pretty low because he's a role player. He's not going to play a lot of minutes as it is. The numbers are very low, right? So what do? You play a couple minutes, take yourself out. That guarantees you can't get to that number because if you played your normal minutes and you were trying to guarantee you weren't going to get to those numbers, well, that's going to look suspicious to the coach.
Exactly.
Like, wait a second, why are you turning down open shots? Why are you not running the floor? You could have had a layup right there. You're not going to the glass, whatever it may be. So this is the perfect way to do it, and this is a big problem. This really is. And look, it's been caught, but you can't have any sort of visual that anything you are watching when it comes to sports is predetermined. Nope. Now you've got a problem on your hands because now it's like pro wrestling, right? And that it can't be that. It has to be a series of random events taking place. And look, though, these leagues now are intertwined with these betting platforms. So this is a big deal right now, and they caught it. And it looks like, let's see what happens. Obviously, a lot more information has to come out, and he's got a lot of things to answer to in terms of what his involvement was, who were the guys that were trying to make money off of this, what was the communication flow there. A lot more has got to come out, but certainly, guys, this does not look like this could be a coincidence to have something like this happen.
Now, the average NBA salary is north of $12 million. Prop betting limits are relatively low for people who are professional athletes. However, there are some players at the bottom end of the NBA food chain, like Jontay Porter. Again, he's on a two-way contract. He's scheduled to earn about $400,000 this year, less than even the minimum salary for a first-year player who's on a full contract. And so that is the area where I think the NBA has to keep special attention to, because the risk-reward, in a case like Porter, he's had 2 ACL tears in his career. He hasn't played, and he didn't play in the NBA the last 2 years. He played in the NBA in 2021. He's basically barely hanging on to the edge of the league. And so that's a situation you have to watch. And I also think this is something you particularly have to watch in college as well, because there are players in college who may not, be seeing potential opportunities in professional sports. What you're concerned about when you hear about this is the stuff that doesn't get caught.
I need to be at home, and I need to know that everything that I'm watching is on the up and up, because if anything is predetermined, it's WWE.
Well, I can tell you guys right now, if this was going on when I played, I would have taken the over on my three-point attempts, and I would have shot the ball every time I touched it. It's a win-win situation.
Yes.
It's a win-win in that situation.
Obviously, this is very serious, and if he's found to have done anything wrong, his NBA career is over. He's not going to make his $400,000, and he'll be banned from the NBA for life. After this story came out, fans found other suspicious activity from Jontay Porter, including this 3 that he banked in. It looked like he tried to miss it on purpose, and when he made it, he looked disappointed. They even found his betting Twitter account called Tay Trades, and let's just say, the guy likes to gamble. With the NBA's growing partnership with sports betting, this is only going to get worse. The only reason Jontay Porter got caught is because the casino found an irregularity that he sat out both of those games. Do you really think other players are going to make it that obvious? What about officials? Do you think the refs will make it that obvious? And even if they do, no one is allowed to question the officials. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Did Jontay Porter really bet on himself? And leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more NBA content just like this, and I will see you in the next upload.